Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you already subscribed. In today's video we're making this newborn hat, and I do want to apologize in advance because this video is voiced over. The first part. The second part is just me talking through the video. There's some noises through the video that I didn't realize until I was editing the video, so yeah, I want to apologize for that. And now I'm gonna show you a size short that I got on in the internet. It gives you the looms that you need for the size that you want. The first row is for who you're making the hat. The second row is the average head circumference. The third row is the loom size, like what loom you're gonna need. The fourth row is hat length. And the last row is the number of rows that you're gonna work for whoever you're making the hat. So yeah, and now let's get started. Okay, and like I said at the beginning, I'm making the newborn size, so I'm gonna use the 24th loom pegs, and then I'm gonna use this red yarn. Is from the Red Lion Hometown USA. Yeah, so that's the color I'm gonna need, and then I'm gonna need some scissors, and I'm also gonna use the loom knitting hook. Okay, so let's begin. The first part of the video is gonna have voiceover. The end of the video is gonna be me talking during the video. Okay, so to start with, we're gonna start with a slip knot, and I'm gonna place it in the anchor peg that we have right there, just like I'm doing there. Let me show you guys another one that I made. This is what this one is gonna look like, but in a like more smaller size. Yeah, this is for a 6 to 1 year old baby. So yeah, this is what we're making. Okay, to start with, I'm gonna do the ear wrap all around the loom to make my cast on. So yeah, so if you've been following me since the beginning, you know that all my cast ons are with a wrap. So okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wrap all around the loom until I get to the first peg. Okay, once I get to my last peg, I'm gonna wrap, and then I'm gonna push all my loops down so I can have space to make the second row, which that's gonna complete for me to knit off for the cast on. Okay, so now once I push all the loops down, I'm gonna start wrapping with the first peg, and I always know that's my first peg because is the next peg after my anchor. So yeah, I keep wrapping all the way around until I get to my last peg, and then we're ready to knit off. Okay, so I'm almost to the end, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hold my yarn, I'm gonna get my hook, and I'm gonna knit off the last one that I did so it holds everything, holding it with my finger like so. Otherwise I'm gonna have a mess and I'm gonna have to start over again. Insert my hook in the bottom loop, and I'm gonna pass it over the last one we did. You want to do it carefully because this yarn, especially when you wrap it, it gets a little bit tight. So yeah, just a side note. So now I'm gonna start knitting off the first one, which like I said is the one after my anchor. So yep, I'm gonna knit the first one off, and the rest, like I said. Okay, I just got here to the end. This completes our cast on. So now we're ready to start with the actual pattern. But before we do that, we're gonna push all the loops down so we can have the space to start working with the second row. I'm gonna call the cast on the first row. So the second row is where we're gonna start with the pattern. Okay, we're gonna start with the brim of the hat, and so yeah, this is what we're gonna make. This consists of one U-stitch and one purl. Yeah, and that's how we're gonna make the pattern for the brim. So let's get started. Okay, like I repeated before, we're always gonna start with the peg that is after the anchor that we have. So that's always gonna be our first peg. We're gonna start with a U-stitch, and it's basically just forming a U around the peg like I did right there. As you can see, when you turn it like that, you have a U. Yeah, and then once you form your U, you get your hook and knit it off, and that's gonna be our first peg. For the second peg, we're gonna do the purled. So we're gonna position the yarn like so. We're gonna grab the loop that we already had, and then grab the new piece of yarn like so, and we're gonna pull it, forming a loop. Now we're gonna remove the loop that we already had, and once we remove that, we're gonna place the new loop that we made in the peg and pull it like that, and that forms our first purl stitch. We're just basically repeating the same thing, one U-stitch, one purl all the way around, and we're gonna repeat that as many times as we want. That's gonna depend of how long you want your brim to be. For this newborn size, I'm just gonna make 5 rows. Counting the cast on is gonna be 6 rows. Yeah, so we're gonna make 5 rows of one U-stitch and one purl all the way around for 5 rows. Okay, so I just finished the 5 rows, and this is what I have right now. This is the inside, which is the wrong side, and this one is the right side. Okay, so for the next step, which is gonna be the gather or gather stitch, which is this part right here, and then we're gonna do, since this is for a newborn baby, I want the patterns to be way smaller, so I think I'm just gonna do, I made for this one 5 rows, so I think I'm just gonna make maybe 3 rows. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make 3 rows, and then for this part, I'm gonna make 3 rows for the gather stitch, and for this part, once we get here, I think I'm gonna make 3 too. Yeah, because since it's gonna be a pretty tiny hat, I wanted to show like all the patterns, so yeah, that's why I'm gonna make like smaller strips of edge. So okay, let's start that gather stitch, which is gonna consist of 1 row purl and 1 row E-wrap. And like I said, we're making 3 rows, so meaning we're gonna make 1 row with purl, 1 row with E-wrap, and then another row with purl. So I'm gonna do that and see how it looks, and then I'm gonna decide if we make like maybe 1 more row or if it will be okay. Good. So to start, we're gonna make a whole row of purl stitch. So this is my first peg. So I'm just gonna push all the pegs up so it will be easier. Okay. So I'm gonna grab the first loop, I'm gonna put my yarn like so, and then I'm gonna grab the other part and pull it, and then with my hook I'm just gonna remove the old loop, and then I'm gonna grab the loop that we made, place it down. I'm gonna put my finger here so when I tied it, it doesn't go nowhere. Okay, and that's what we're gonna repeat. We're gonna repeat that for the whole row. On the frame there. Okay, so that's our second one. The third one. So this is what we're gonna do all the way around, just purled. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that, and then I meet you once I get to the last peg, which always remember the last peg is the one behind the anchor one, which is this one. So I'm gonna do that and then I come back with you guys. Okay, so I just finished the row with purl. So now it's time for the E-wrap. So I'm gonna push all the loops down. Okay, so for the E-wrap we just wrap the whole loop like this from behind, like so. And for the E-wrap we can just like wrap all the loops. Sorry if my hand is like too much on the frame. Just give me a second. Okay, so we wrap all our loops. So all our loops are wrapped now. And we're gonna knit off the last one that we wrapped, which is this one. So our tail is secure. There you go. And then we start knitting off from our first peg, which is this. We start knitting off. And that's our second row. It's gonna be our second row. And like I said, we're doing 3. So if it happens this, like it happened to me, as you can see, this loop fell down. So there's the only way I can save it is just placing it in here and just wrap it around there. If it happens to you, you can just do that. Just need to have in mind that whenever we're gonna do the purl later, this is gonna be really tight, but you know, that's a mistake. But it won't show in our project. Just for you to have in mind, like if that happens, it doesn't mean that you have to, you know, undo the whole thing. Okay. So now our second one is gonna be the purl. I'm just gonna push the loops a little bit down, not too much though. so we can have room in the bottom for the join. Alright, so we're gonna start now the row with pearl, which is gonna be our third row, and we're basically gonna repeat what we did in the first row. Just gonna place our yarn like so. We're gonna grab our top loop and then grab the bottom one and then pull, and then we remove the loop and we place the new one, and that's all we're gonna be doing all the way around till we get to the end. If you're trying to remove the loops with your fingers and they get it's too tight to do it like so, just use your needle. Okay, so I end up doing 4 rows, which means the first one was a pearl, the second one was a E-wrap, and the third one pearl, and the fourth one was E-wrap. So I made 4 rows in total, and this is what I have right now. We cannot, oh yeah, you can kind of see right there, right here. So now the next step is to make this part right here, which is just E-wrap. I'm not gonna make too many rows because I don't want it to be as long as this one is, because since it's for a newborn baby, I want to really show all the pattern. So I'm gonna kind of make it like maybe 4 rows too, 4 rows of this one, and then once I'm done with the 4 rows, I'm gonna measure it to see how long it is, and then after that I might do another 4 rows of the E-wrap and pearl to make this pattern right here. But first things first, so let's do the 4 rows of E-wrap, and it's just gonna be, we're just gonna wrap the loops like so. Okay, I just got to my last bag, and then now I'm gonna get my my hook. Okay, I have my hook. Then I'm gonna knit off the last one that we did, which it has the tail, and then I go to my first bag, which, like I said, here's the anchor, so the one next to it is the first one. So we're just starting to knit all the loops off. Okay, so I just knit off the last one, and that's our first E-wrap row. And like I said, I'm making 4, so now we're gonna make 3 more. I'm just pushing my loops a little bit down. Okay, so now I'm gonna start my second row, and I'm just gonna repeat the same thing until I have the 4 rows. And then once I'm finished with all 4, I'm gonna come back and show you how the hat is looking. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I end up doing only 3 rows of the E-wrap because I felt that it was getting already too like long, and I want both patterns to look like the same. So as you can see, here's the one that we did the gather stitch, and then here is the one that we did with the E-wrap, and it's already looking kind of long in my opinion, so I want it like that. So I stopped on 3 rows. So I didn't do the 4, I did 3. So now what I'm gonna do again the gather pattern, and then the gather pattern, it's gonna be 4 rows. Like I said, it's gonna be, the first row is gonna be purled, the second one is gonna be E-wrap, the third one purled, and the fourth one E-wrap. So we're gonna do that, and then after we're finished the gather, I'm gonna make another 3 rows of the E-wrap. So I'm gonna do those 2 sections, and then I'll be back, and then I'm gonna measure the hat, because right now it's still pretty small, so I don't think we have reached the length that we need yet. So I am gonna do that, and then just so you guys know, the length that we're gonna have for this one for a newborn is gonna be around 4.5 inches. And then let me see what is right now. Right now is measuring 2.5. I don't know if you can see it. 2.5. So yeah, I'm gonna do those 2 sections, and then I'll be back. Okay, so last time that I was here with you guys, I said I was right here, and I said I was gonna make 2 more sets, one with a gather stitch and another one with this. So I decided to make another set of the gather stitch, and it's right here if you can see it. So now with this extra set, my hat now measures 4.5 inches. So yeah, like I said, what I did is technically I did 3 sets of the gather stitch and 2 sets of the E-wrap. Okay, and the gather stitch were 4 rows, which include 1 row with purled, another row with E-wrap, another row with purled, and another one with E-wrap. And with those 4 rows, that's what we got, this one right here. And then I did the E-wrap for 3 rows, and then I did the gather stitch again, which is purl and E-wrap, and then I did the E-wrap again, and then my last set of purl of the gather stitch with purl and E-wrap. So now this is what I have, and then in the wrong side, this is how it looks like. This is what it looks like in the wrong side, and this is what it looks in the right side. Okay. So now I'm gonna remove the loops off the loom, and to do that, I'm gonna get my needle, my thread needle, which is this one right here. And then I'm gonna get my scissors and I'm gonna wrap the yarn around the peg. Whoop, around the peg once, and then I'm gonna cut so I can have enough tail for all the loops. Now I'm gonna insert my yarn in my needle. Maybe this is too small of a needle. Maybe I need a bigger one. So I found my needle and it has a bigger loop. So now I'm gonna try this again. Let me just cut this. Okay, and then once I have like a little bit of tail in here, I'm gonna go to my first loop, which is the next one here, and then I'm gonna pass my needle, and then I'm gonna remove, and then I go to the next loop, insert my needle, and I remove, and then the next one, and we repeat until we get to our last loop. Okay, when you see that your thread is almost done, just pull it a little bit. And finish up the last loops. Okay, and then we remove, and this is what we have. This is our little newborn hat. Now to close it, I'm just gonna pull, and then with the extra yarn, we have our hole right here. So with the extra yarn, I'm just gonna pull, and then I'm gonna insert my hook in different directions so I can close. The hole. We keep doing this until the hole is completely closed. And then when you are gonna do the last loop, you're just gonna leave a little loop like so, insert your needle and pull, and then we can insert the needle underneath so we can leave the tail inside, and then we can cut. And we have our little head, a little beanie. Okay, and then for the tail that we have, where we started, we just get the needle again, and then we're gonna hide the tail, and then I'm gonna try to hide it like through the inside. So I'm just gonna insert my needle and the stitches that I have there. Okay, And when you feel that you hide the tail enough, you just go ahead and cut the thread. And there we have it. That's our newborn hat. And then if you want, you can just add a little pom-pom in here. I think that will make it look really, really cute. So yeah, this is the end of this tutorial. I hope it was easy enough to follow. Yeah, and if you try it, let me know in the comments. Yeah, so this is the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys like it, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so it can notify you whenever I post a video. So yeah, and I see you in the next one. Bye.